What's up, guys? I'm Chris Spags here, back with another showdown breakdown for tonight's Thursday night football battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans, courtesy of Osmo.com. Tonight we have ourselves an AFC West battle that looks a little bit more appealing to me than it may to some other folks out there, so let's get some positive energy in the air. And right now, please hit that like button, and also comment your slate breaker down below. I'm curious to see what you guys are thinking about tonight's slate, so like the video and comment your guy you think is going to break tonight's slate down below. But let's get right into the showdown breakdown, starting with the quarterbacks and Jacoby Brissett in a matchup at Houston, in which there are 21 implied points for Indianapolis. Brissett should have some upside given the 272 passing yards and 5.8% passing TD rate that Houston allows, with better run defense that allows just 102 rushing yards per game. Houston generates a poor 18% pressure rate, so Brissett should see mostly clean pockets, where he has a 109.7 QB rating with an 83% accuracy rate. And on the other side, we should have a more popular Deshaun Watson in a match versus Indianapolis, in which there are 24.5 implied points for Houston. Watson should benefit from the nice 69% completion rate that Indianapolis allows, but they mostly keep the ball in front of them with just 7.3 air yards per target allowed. Indianapolis covers well, but shouldn't bring much pressure to Watson, a plus given his high 9% sack rate. It seems likely that Watson is worth rostering, even if he may not have a gigantic ceiling given Indianapolis' clock control ability. And now let's talk about the running backs in this showdown slate, starting with the Indianapolis running backs at Houston. Marlon Mack is out, but the delegation of work remains to be seen with Jordan Wilkins back, while Jonathan Williams looked great in the run game in Week 11 with 13 rushes for 116 yards and a score, while Nyheim Hines had 4 targets on the same 10 routes run as Williams. Williams' price is the most appealing, but Jordan Wilkins could hold him at bay if he starts with 6.1 yards per rush and 4.6 yards after contact per attempt, and none of the guys are out of play with a likely split workload between the three. And on the other side, we have Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson versus Indianapolis. Hyde saw less work in Week 11 thanks to Houston being blown out by Baltimore, and he doesn't project as great value, but he should see the majority of rushing work with at least 19 carries in 4 of the last 6 games. Johnson may have a tough matchup given the 32% decrease in production of pass-catching running backs that Indianapolis allows, but he does see 21 routes per game and 0.5 red zone targets per game, and that doesn't make him entirely out of play. Now let's talk about the wide receivers and tight ends of the showdown slate, starting with the Indianapolis receivers at Houston. T.Y. Hilton remains questionable, and his status is key as the undeniable best Indianapolis wide receiver play if he's in, while Zach Pascal is much more interesting if he's out, with one of these two guys likely worth rostering depending upon the results. Marcus Johnson's 28 routes in Week 11 were second to Pascal's 29, while Eric Ebron saw only 15 routes but 4 targets more than Jack Doyle's 0, with Pascal, Johnson, and Ebron the most appealing options today if T.Y. Hilton is sitting. Then we have the Houston receivers versus Indianapolis. DeAndre Hopkins doesn't project as a great value, but his raw points projection is the highest on the slate outside of the quarterbacks, while Will Fuller is questionable but reportedly expected to be active, something that bumps Kenny Stills down the pecking order, but makes him a more contrarian play. Darren Fells and Jordan Akins have impossibly high touchdown rates, with them having run only 19 and 22 routes respectively in Week 11 compared to the wide receivers' 37 plus routes, and both are worth less exposure than the wide receivers, but they could get into the end zone, with Fells in particular getting 1 red zone target per game. But last but not least, let's talk defenses and kickers, starting with the Houston defense versus Indianapolis. Given Houston's poor pressure, Jacoby Brissett's low 1.5% interception rate and 5.5% sack rate, it doesn't seem like a great spot for Houston other than that high 21% forced fumble rate they have that could result in a fluky touchdown. And on the other side, we have the Colts defense at Houston. Indianapolis also struggles to generate pressure, but covers fairly well, and it's possible they stumble into some sacks of Watson, but they don't seem to have a ton of upside given Houston's high implied total. And of course, we have the superstars of the game, the kickers. Kaimi Fairbairn projects as the better value, with Indianapolis' defense more likely to stiffen up the red zone, with 4.8 points per red zone visit compared to 5.4 points per visit allowed by Houston. Adam Vinatieri is slightly cheaper than Fairbairn and would see more opportunity if Brissett and company stall out in the red zone, with them likely to be able to move the ball fairly well through the air. So there you have it. That's what I'm seeing so far for tonight's Thursday night football game between the Colts and the Texans. So right now, please hit that like button and also comment your slate breaker down below. And if you'd like some more data for the showdown slate, including player projections and ownership projections, use this promo code SWITCHANDHEDGE for half off your first month of Osmo Plus. Go to osmo.com/join and find packages as low as $3.95 a week on there. Head over to osmo.com/join right now and find a package that'll work for you. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. I've got the showdown breakdown today, the 4 corners with Switch and Hedge, and Live Before Lock. So I've got a ton of content coming out every single day. Check me out right now on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. I'll be back tomorrow with Osmo's NFL rankings, Saturday on the contrary, Sunday Live Before Lock. So watch all my NFL content coming up. And of course, I'll be back with you guys on Monday for another showdown breakdown. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great night. And of course, good luck.